Y George, en este día de Acceso Europa vamos a hablar del Manchester City en una plática que tuvimos hace unos días auténticamente con una leyenda, por decirlo de alguna forma, que inició los pininos, Shaun Wright-Phillips, un extremo que lo hizo muy bien en su pasado con el conjunto Citizen, y Mikel Aguirre y un servidor tuvimos la dicha de recibirlo aquí en la República Mexicana. Por supuesto que nos echamos unos tacos y platicamos a diestra y siniestra de muchos temas con Shaun Wright-Phillips, y también le preguntamos, por supuesto, del androide. Así que esta charla muy amena con un mundialista inglés en Sudáfrica 2010 y también leyenda del Manchester City, que nos vino a presumir el trofeo de la Premier League. Por supuesto, este contenido exclusivo para aficionados. ¿Cómo están, amigos de Aficionados? Los saludamos con gusto y hoy es un día sumamente especial porque estamos en presencia de una leyenda del conjunto Citizen, del Manchester City, por supuesto acompañados por Mikel Aguirre, y le damos la bienvenida, sin más preámbulo, a Shaun Wright-Phillips, former football player of Manchester City, of the reigning champions Manchester City. Thank you for this time with Aficionados. Manchester City, that I have to say, is content sharing collaborator of Aficionados, and we're happy to see you, Shaun Wright-Phillips. First of all, we'd like to congratulate your former club, Manchester City, and this trophy, the fourth time that Manchester City have this trophy in the last 5 years. What does it mean, Shaun, to being part of a historic club like Manchester City and has that DNA of a champion?
It's very important. I think what they've achieved, not only in the last 5 years, but to win that title 4 times out of the 5 is a big ask, emotionally, mentally, physically, and it can sometimes be hard to get back up and put in that same amount of work, but they seem to be doing it again now. They're going for it for a 5th time and not too far off it either. So to be able to put that name on there again would be beautiful.
I mean, everybody talks, when we speak about Manchester City, of course, they talk about all the money spending and all the big players. But more than that, what are the keys, really? It's not just bringing the best players in the world. I mean, it's a 38-game league. So what are the keys of at the end of the regular season, being the champion?
All those people that talk about City splashing money, I think most expensive player they've bought is Jack Grealish.
Yes.
As for buying superstars, Vincent Kompany wasn't a superstar before he signed for City. Neither would you say David Silva. I think what the club do, and especially Pep and his team, they find players that play the way they need them to play, and they make them better. I think that's an achievement in itself. And once they get better and the whole team's gelled around them, they move on from then. And I think that is the results of 4 Premier League titles in 5 years. It's easy to go and splash money and buy players, but it doesn't always work. You need the main man behind that knows what he's doing, and Pep seems to be that main man. Every player he buys pretty much seems to work out the way he wants them to work. They'd be able to take on his information that they're giving him, and they perform at high and exceeded levels.
In terms of Champions League, what do you think are the lessons learned from previous seasons? Because the Pep always says that the Premier League is the difficult trophy of the season because of the longevity, 38 games. But what do you think? Because that's the ultimate prize that I imagine Manchester City fans, the club of Manchester City, wants also, the Champions League. What do you think, Shaun, from previous seasons? Has the team learned so that maybe this the first stop is Rasenballspor Leipzig, but to get the ultimate prize in the Champions League?
I wouldn't say it's a necessarily what have they learned. I would take it more from an experience side of point of view, because for me, I thought against Real Madrid last year they were phenomenal. Against the run of play, we miss our chances, and then Real Madrid go and do what Real Madrid do. They have the likes of people like Benzema and Vinicius that will cause any team in the world problem if you give them half a chance. They took their chances. Whereas I think whether it was a save from Courtois or not, we didn't take our chances. Now, I think if you want to talk about lessons, the only lesson I would say really that you would take out of that, if you was going to do it, is when you have a chance, it needs to be in the back of the net, because the quality players that you're coming up against will do that to you. And they would have learned that lesson, if you want to talk about lessons, from the Real Madrid game, because I don't think anybody saw Real Madrid winning. And not many people can say that. So that for me, I thought they was brilliant last year.
Who is your favorite player today of the Manchester City squad? That you like the most?
Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, because I was a winger, and when you're a winger, you rely on midfielders to get you the ball. Mm-hmm. I feel like if I could just run, and wherever I was, he would find me, which would suit me. So yeah, KDB is my guy.
I want to talk about Erling Haaland. Of course, we all know the amount of goals he gets every season, but more than that is even a family thing. No, his dad used to play for the club, and when he was doing a great job in Borussia Dortmund, all the big clubs in Europe wanted him, and he decided to go to Man City. What I see in him is he's not a selfish guy, although he gets all these goals. What do you think of him, not only as a striker, but like the image of the Manchester City for years to come?
I'm praying he's there until he retires, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think sometimes it's hard to talk about him, because I think pundits, presenters, fans, I think we kind of forget how young he is. Yes. He's still a baby. There's so much pressure on his shoulders, and no matter what pressure is on his shoulders, he seems to rise to the occasion at every turn. He's got 27 goals, what I think is 37 in total, which is already breaking records. And I don't think they've clicked fully yet. I think once both players commit, and that chemistry and that cohesion works perfectly well, I think that a lot of teams need to be careful, because there's one thing stopping Haaland. If you stop Haaland, then you've got to think about Jack Grealish, Mahrez, Foden, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. So you can't focus just on one person. And that's where I think the team will get to at some point.
Pues, thank you, Shaun, for this interview, for this chat. Mikel Aguirre, Hugo Ramírez, amigos de aficionados. Pues ahí lo tenemos a la leyenda del Manchester City, que nos vino a presumir, pero muy amablemente, este bello trofeo, this beautiful trophy, reigning champions, Manchester City of the Premier League. Bien, ahí las palabras de Shaun Wright-Phillips, que estuvo así unos días aquí en la capital mexicana. Después lo despedimos con una patada, con mucho cariño, porque se fue a la ciudad de Nueva York. Pero, por supuesto, la verdad fue una plática bastante amena con Shaun Wright-Phillips, que sí, después fuera de micrófono, George sí nos decía, esta temporada tiene que ser la buena en la Liga de Campeones de Europa. Veremos, porque estarán interesantes los cuartos de final. El próximo viernes, el sorteo.
Oye, pero gran entrevista, mi querido chef, de ese material exclusivo para toda la gente de aficionados. Muy bien, Mikel Aguirre también cuestionando sobre el Android de Haaland. Y sí, está muy chavito todavía, ¿no? Lo que le falta. ¿Sabes que nació en Inglaterra?
23 tiene.
22.
22.
Es inglés de nacimiento. ¿Cómo se les pudo haber ido a los ingleses? Y bueno, pues empezó a jugar primero.
Pocos jugadores jóvenes hemos visto con este nivel, ¿no?
Con ese potencial. Mira, de lo bueno de que vaya a haber tantos equipos, tantas selecciones en el próximo Mundial, es que en una de esas se puede colar Noruega, ¿no?
Tiene grandes jugadores repartidos por todo el mundo, ¿eh?
Pues sí.
Hugo, te mandamos un abrazote y nada más una pregunta. ¿Por qué cuando vienes al estudio
no vienes de traje?
No te bañas y no vienes de traje, y cuando vas a Pachuca ibas arregladito y todo? Es duda, ¿eh?
Justo me pregunto a eso el Presi, que lo acabamos de ver, Armando Martínez. Me dice, oye, ¿por qué aquí vienes de frac y ahí te veo en Superestadio y tienes otro atuendo? Lo voy a corregir porque ya he recibido pares de comentarios de eso.
Saludos a toda la banda Tusa, por favor.
Mándale abrazote ahí a la banda y ten cuidado, que son
¿Tiene
bravos.
algo por Pachuca, mijo?
Exacto. Hay alguna...
No escucho, ya no escucho.
Hay algún quelite,
se
fue la señal,
por
se fue la
ya es
señal.
soltero, ya es soltero.
algún tuzoquelite o algo así, Hugo.
Oye, él sí se burló del América.
Pero ya es soltero el Che.
Ah,
ya es
¿sí?
soltero.
Digo, no es que quiera amarrar navajas,
No,
pero
no,
algo
no.
así vi yo.
Fíjate que cuando dejó la dirección técnica del equipo de TUDN también me lo limpiaron.
¿También?
Sí, también. Bueno, en paquete. Ahora,
No me
Mikel,
digas. No, ese chisme de...
Cepillín.
Complétalo.
No,
De-
pues le
No,
dieron
vamos al,
cepillín.
vamos al
dos-
corte y armamos el tejido.
De los dos lados.
Cuéntenme el
Con la nota
chisme,
rosa.
por favor.
De los dos lados.